Morning, everybody. I hope you're in for a great day. I want to take you back to the book of Mark for our devotionals today, and we're still in chapter 1, and I want to take you to what for me has to be one of the most beautiful stories of any account of the life of Jesus. And you find it in Mark chapter 1. I want to read verse 40. A man with leprosy came to him, that is Jesus, and begged him on his knees, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." Filled with compassion, Jesus reached out his hand and he touched the man. "I am willing," he said, "be clean." Immediately the leprosy left him and he was cured. I just find that the implications of this beautiful account are just so incredibly far-reaching and applicable in today's life. You will know that in the days of Jesus that the disease of leprosy was considered to be a death sentence. It was a long, drawn-out disease of when your nerves die and everything, all your digits in your face, and becomes, completely grotesque with the issues of this disease just eating away at your flesh. There was no known cure at the time for this disease. And so to touch somebody with leprosy was regarded as a very silly thing to do. The lepers were basically regarded as a people of untouchables. That was until Jesus came along. And I can just get the picture of this man coming in desperate into the middle of a crowd while Jesus is teaching. And he gets down on his knees and he says, "Jesus, will you heal me?" And the crowd would have said, "Jesus, don't go close to him. Jesus, don't go near him. He's a leper. Jesus, don't touch him. Jesus, don't go anywhere near." But Jesus would have taken no notice of the crowd. And he would have walked up gently to this man, and he would have done what nobody else would possibly or could possibly have done. He reached out and he did the most unthinkable thing. He touched the leper. He touched the untouchable. He touched the rejected. He touched the marginalized. He touched somebody who hadn't been touched probably for years, and he embraced this man. I don't think he just reached out with his finger and he did a little gentle touch like that. I think it implies here that he reached out and he embraced this man, somebody who hadn't been hugged for just so long. And you say, well, why would Jesus do that? Why would Jesus go against the prevailing wisdom of the day, take his own life in his hands, in a sense, and reach out and touch a man who could pass on such a terrible disease? Well, Jesus understood one thing. It's what we need to understand. He understood the value of a human being. You see, we value people, don't we? But we value people who can add to us. We value people who can benefit us. We value people who can give to us. But the test of Jesus, was he willing to reach out, embrace, bring close to you somebody who has no value in the eyes of the world? Because that's the test of the untouchable. And Jesus passes this test and he says, "Go and do likewise." Folks, I don't know. We live in a world of lots of untouchables. HIV brought that into our world, didn't it? There's so many other diseases have come along and we marginalize these people. And with the lepers, they were ostracized from town. They had leper colonies and their food would be brought to them, if at all, and put halfway towards and between them. And then they would ring a bell and they could come and get their food. If a leper came into town, he had to ring a bell and cross on the other side of the road from the people. And he would have to cry out, "Unclean, unclean, unclean." How degrading, man. How awful for this man. But when Jesus met the leper, he did the unthinkable and he reached out and he embraced this man. And then he says to us, people, get this, go and do likewise. Look for the unreachable and the untouchable, the marginalized, those that are ostracized. Look for those in society who have been pushed aside. And Jesus says, as the church, get out of there, get out of your holy huddle and go and touch the untouchable, embrace the unbraceable, and be a part of their lives and their healing. Man, I feel so passionately about this by way of us being a church. a church that is caring for those that are in need, a church that cares for, even though we can sit and we can throw blame and we can look at different things. Jesus never did that. He just reached out to the untouchable and he welcomed him, all because he understood the value of a human being. So maybe people, this is a tough message for the church today. Let's reevaluate our value system. What do we consider valuable? Do we consider those who can add something to our church valuable? Those who have wealth that can make something for us? Because if we do, we've fallen into the trap of an unjust value system. Jesus levels the playing field. Everybody is of equal value to God. The man in the gutter who's destroyed his life through whatever is as valuable as to God as the king who sits on his throne. They're all of equal value. Let's make sure that we as Christians, we as a church, Norwegian Settlers, value people the way that Jesus did. Man, that's an awesome thing to think. What a pleasure that would be. Let's go and do that today, people, and in the days to come. Have a fantastic day, you guys. We love you lots. Cheers. Bye now.